What is going on? My name is Mike. This is all about pressure washing. And in today's video, we're going to talk about one of those hotly debated topics in this industry. And that is, what is the proper protocol after soft washing a roof? Should you rinse it? Should you not? Should you rely on Mother Nature? What's the best practice and why? So there are several different things that come into play that should all have an impact on your decision-making process. First is where you're at, your location. Do you have a lot of rain? Are you willing to allow Mother Nature to finish up the job for you? Another thing is having a basic understanding of a little bit of chemistry. Now, I've said it before, this is not rocket science. Pretty much anybody can figure this stuff out with a little bit of experience, a little bit of training, and a little bit of knowledge. But having a rudimentary understanding of what the products are that you're dealing with on a daily basis and how they react in certain conditions and certain environments, what their purpose is, how they're used, what the limitations are, these are all things that come into play when deciding how you're going to tackle various things on the job, and in this case, finishing up the roof job. Another component, and probably the most important, is how bad was the roof before you started, and what does it look like after you've applied your detergent, and what have you done as far as managing customer expectations, and how much follow-up do you want to bring on yourself as a result of the decision you make as to whether or not you're going to rinse. Again, this really goes back to meeting and exceeding customer expectations, which is so important to the success of your business, especially when you're trying to create repeat customers, because ultimately that's what we all want. So let's first talk about the chemistry behind roof cleaning, because obviously when you're dealing with any kind of detergent or chemicals, it's very important to have an understanding of what you're handling and any potential risks or hazards to yourself or your customer's property. And with that being said, the main ingredient in a roof wash mix is sodium hypochlorite or bleach, and this is a base. It's not an acid, and that's something that's important to understand. An acid continues to work until it's neutralized. A base, like bleach, slowly begins to lose its strength even with no neutralization. So once you apply your solution to the roof and it hits the Gloeocapsa-magma or any of the other organic material up on the shingles, it reacts immediately. There is a chemical reaction. You can see it happen. The SH almost immediately begins to weaken, and eventually there are no more hypochlorite ions remaining. What is left behind after the reaction between the SH and the organic matter is a form of salt, and we all know that salt will hurt plants, flowers, and grass. And this is why it's so important to water everything throughout the entire process, as well as one of the reasons it's important to rinse the roof, which is what we recommend in How to Wash. We recommend rinsing regardless of the roof, regardless of the climate, regardless of your location, but if you choose not to rinse the entire roof, at least hit the bottom third of the roof with a bunch of water. And this doesn't take a tremendous amount of time, but will definitely help to mitigate any potential problems caused by the runoff. Okay, but before we move on, if you've got any questions about roof cleaning or really how to wash anything on a residential property, check out the first link in the comment section below for How to Wash, the complete guide to soft washing and pressure washing, where we cover every aspect of what you need to know. The equipment, the processes, the chemicals needed, how to mix those chemicals, how to apply them. We also go step by step through every surface that you're going to encounter on a residential property, and we're also constantly adding new information. We just uploaded a brand new specialty chemical module that talks about different surfactants, oil stain removal, oxidation removal. You also get the wood cleaning mastery course as an added bonus, as well as upon completion, you receive an ECP certification, which you can proudly display to let your customers know you are serious about your profession. There is a reason this is the #1 selling pressure washing course for the second year running. Check it out for yourself. There is a link below. Okay, so another factor that is going to help to determine whether or not you rinse is where you're located. Now, down here in the southeast where I live, there is rainfall almost every single afternoon in the spring, summer, and even into the fall. Now, this is something that makes life a lot easier for us when we're washing roofs, because Mother Nature helps to rinse and finish off the roof cleaning process for us on some occasions. Now, there are other areas in the country that are really dry, that are really arid, and they just don't have a lot of rain. Over on the West Coast, down to Arizona, New Mexico, places like that, very limited rainfall, which necessitates the need to rinse more so than in other areas. Obviously, when you clean a roof, you're killing all the organic matter, and rinsing afterwards helps to improve the overall appearance of the job. Yes, the job is complete. Yes, the organic matter is dead and it will eventually come off, but with the aid of rinsing, you're just giving a better finished product, which your customers are definitely going to appreciate. Nobody wants to pay you to wash their roof and then have to wait until the next rainfall for the job to be finished. Spending a little bit extra time doing a little bit of rinsing goes a long way with the customer relationship, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Another thing that you have to consider is the other building components besides the roof that might be affected by the solution that you're applying to clean the asphalt shingles or the tiles or the metal roof. Depending on where you live, gutters may be something that every house has, but down in the southeast, probably only 20% of the properties that we clean actually have gutters, which can be both a good thing and a bad thing. It sucks because you have to do a lot more watering, more property protection, but the downside is gutters are made of metal, and metal does not react well with a corrosive solution like sodium sodium hypochlorite, which can cause damage over the course of time unless it's properly rinsed or neutralized. Also, if your customer has solar panels or skylights, you definitely want to rinse all of those things really well, because the last thing that you want to do is cause damage to their property as a result of your cleaning process. And these are things that probably most homeowners don't even think about when they're considering having their roof washed. But as a professional, these are things that you obviously need to take into account and address. And I would also suggest that you share these with the homeowners. They're going to appreciate the fact that you know what you're talking about, that you know your stuff, that you understand all aspects of what it takes to do the job right for them, and can also help them understand why the job is going to cost them more than they might have expected. So the last thing that we're going to discuss is the fact that setting customer expectations is so unbelievably important, whether you rinse or you don't. If you're not going to rinse, definitely let your customer know that there are still going to be some brown spots up on the roof once you leave. And we all know the saying, if it's brown, it's coming down. If it's black, you're going back. But your customer doesn't know this saying. They might walk out, see a bunch of brown spots, a bunch of brown streaks, and think that you didn't do your job. And that's going to leave a really bad taste in their mouth. And that is why you need to have the conversation beforehand, so they have a clear understanding of exactly what is going to happen once you leave their property. Also in that conversation, it's always good to reassure them that if there are any spots that remain after the first couple of rains, that you're going to be more than happy to come back out and take care of it for them. Do a little touch up, do a little extra rinsing. But again, if you spend the extra time rinsing after the initial cleaning, you'll likely not have as many calls or conversations like that. So that is it for this video. If you want to check out the #1 selling course in the pressure washing industry, the link for how to wash is right below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I just want to reiterate that obviously it's up to you to determine what is best for your company and your location, but there really is never a bad time to rinse. It definitely can't hurt anything. It definitely helps. You're not leaving anything to chance. You're not letting old Mother Nature decide if she's going to send a little bit of extra rain your way to help finish up the job. So if anything, at least rinse the bottom 1/3 of the roof. This could potentially save you some headaches and hopefully prevent you from ever having to replace your customer's landscape. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day.